As Trunks turned Super Saiyan 2, he realized something. He wanted to live in this timeline, a timeline that wasn't destroyed, a timeline that wasn't ruined. However, he had to go back and take care of something before he could. So Trunks went back to the future. As Trunks went back to the future, he would then look around in his time, as he would take a deep breath and then smile. Soon he'll be able to do it. He was going to be able to avenge Gohan. He finally was strong enough. He finally had the strength to get rid of him. He finally had the strength to destroy the androids. As he began to walk around that destroyed city that he knew so long ago, he would see everything. And he would remember looking at this city back in the past. But it looked so destroyed. It looked so ruined. It was different. He remembered going back in the past. He saw cities that weren't destroyed, cities that weren't in ruin. It gave him hope. It gave him some sense of peace. As Trunks smiled, suddenly 17 and 18 would land behind him. Ah, Trunks, you weren't hiding your power level. Our scanners could sense it. Trunks would simply turn around and say, "It's over. I will destroy you once and for all." 17 and 18 both charged at Trunks, laughing at him, but then he simply turned yellow as he turned into a Super Saiyan. They weren't surprised, but suddenly something happened. Shocks of electricity went through his hair and throughout his body as he was a Super Saiyan 2. As 17 and 18 said, What are you doing?" Trunks said, "Finishing you off. I have reached a level beyond Super Saiyan, and it's thanks to my dad, to Gohan, to Goku, and to all the friends you've killed." 17 would look right at Trunks and yell at him. "You really think this new hairdo, this new style can defeat us? Besides, all you got is electricity going through your hair. That's not even that scary, man. You think a little trick like that will scare me?" But then Trunks would move so fast he couldn't even see him, as half of 17's body fell to the floor. He coughed out oil and blood as Trunks blew him up. 18 would shake in fear and anger and say, Why would you do this?" "What do you mean, why? I killed your brother because you killed my mentor and killed everyone dear to me." 18 would say, "I'm sorry. Listen, I know I messed up," but Trunks would simply walk towards her. "Shut up. You have not a single good bone in your entire body. If you have bones left, that
But
is.
who am I kidding? Your bones are probably metal. You have no humanity left, no empathy, no sympathy. All you are is a machine made to kill." As future Trunks would simply blow her into smithereens, destroying her right here, right now. As he simply smirked, then he would go back to the time machine. But not before going to see his mom and telling her everything. She was so happy. She would be overjoyed. And even though Trunks wanted to go back to the present timeline and not stay in the future, Bulma understood because she loved Trunks. And she wanted what was best for him. And obviously staying in this timeline wasn't too great. So she said, "Can you visit me every once in a while?" Trunks would say, "Of course, Mom." As Trunks would then go back to the past. As Trunks smiled, he would walk around, happy with everything that happened, and happy to spend his time there. However, there was a small, tiny problem. And the problem was, when he went to Capsule Corp, he saw someone that looked just like him, but a kid, the time machine. It sent him too far into the future. The time machine was always buggy going into the past. And now it messed up the date again. As little Trunks looked up and said, future Trunks would simply get down to the ground and say, "I'm you, from the future. I haven't been here in a while. Well, for you guys anyway. For me, it was just a few days. Seems like that machine's super buggy. Oh well. At least I know you're all doing well," Trunks would say as he got up. Kid Trunks would say, "Where are you going?" "To see Dad, of course." Vegeta was training with Nappa, as Nappa was getting old. His goatee turned gray, and it seemed like he wasn't long for this world. But he still had a few good years left in him. As Vegeta said, "You know, Nappa, There's this thing called a World Martial Arts Tournament. We should go there sometime. Test out our strength. Nappa would say, I like that. Trunks would then say, I also like that. Nappa would then turn around, shocked. Trunks, what are you doing here? Trunks would then laugh and say, simple. I'm here to fight in a tournament. And, I kind of wanted to stay here, but my time machine messed up again. They would both laugh. That time machine never works, Vegeta would say. And skulk. Nappa would just say, I'm glad it doesn't work. Otherwise, I'd be dead. Vegeta would then look at him and kind of feel bad that he killed him in another timeline, but he didn't do that here, so it doesn't really matter. He would agree, as then they would fly over to Goku's place. As Goku was hanging out with Goten, Trunks, Nappa, and Vegeta would all lay down and tell him about the tournament. Goku was excited as he agreed. Everyone agreed and got ready to fight. They were excited to fight. Trunks looked and said, I guess Piccolo's the strongest now, huh? Goku would say, that was a long time ago, and we've all gotten a lot stronger. We've unlocked that 2 form that you use. Really? You can use Super Saiyan 2 also? Goku would nod and say, yeah. Trunks would say, that's great. Trunks was excited to fight. You'd probably even lose if they used Super Saiyan, since they have more practice with 2, since, he literally just spent a couple days in the future before coming back here. As they're all getting ready to go, though, we cut to Cell, Imperfect Cell. He's been absorbing people like a serial killer, not going out and destroying entire cities. That would be too noticeable. He's been helping Dr. Gero make a serum from everyone's DNA. This serum will make him perfect. But as he was making it, though, Dr. Gero's cameras caught something. Some alien going to this planet. Imperfect Cell was waiting for a long time to become, well, perfect. But now that there's aliens, that could be someone for him to fight. True, he wanted to show his perfection off on the others and defeat them. However, these aliens could make a worthy test subject for his new powers. Dr. Gero's body was rebuilt. Cell helped him rebuild it by stealing junkyard parts and things like that. As he ingested the serum, suddenly Cell would turn into his perfect form as he walked around. He looked at Dr. Gero and said, I thought about destroying you, but nah, I'm gonna leave you here. And I'll get revenge for you, don't worry. But don't try to take over the world or stop me, because I just want to have a good time. Dr. Gero would say, yeah, I've learned my lesson. Cell didn't know if he was serious or not, but he didn't care. If he made anything, he could easily destroy it. After all, he was Perfect Cell. Cell would get out and begin to fly and look across the world. He would, hide his power level so he could see things without being caught. And he was curious about these aliens. Honestly, he really wanted to fight them more than anything. As Cell was flying around and looking around, he would eventually come across the tournament. As he would see Spopovitz and Yamu stealing power from Nappa. As they flew after him, he would start to fly with them, and they would look and say, who the hell are you? Cell would explain everything, but say, don't worry, I'm not here to fight you. I'm not like Dr. Gero. I just want to have fun. They didn't really trust Cell, but they didn't want to make more enemies since they were going to fight anyway. So they all flew down, and things happened like in canon, but this time Cell and Nappa were with them. As they all flew inside, the mighty Pui would show up. Pui was ready to defeat them all, to destroy them, to prove how strong he was as he charged. But Cell simply hit him with a Kamehameha, destroying him, as then Cell began to flex. He was impressed with himself, impressed with the power that he showed off. As then they started to go down further, Yakon would appear, but then Trunks would show Yakon the power that he had. As Trunks would turn Super Saiyan 2 and begin to charge Yakon with more and more and more energy as he grew more and more and more until he blew up. They went down more and more and more. As Babidi got nervous, Deborah said, don't worry, I will deal with them. As then Deborah flew up. They all got ready to fight. Cell said, let me show you how it's done. But Nappa said, no, you already had your turn. It's my turn. Deborah simply laughed. I am the mighty Demon King. And you think a pathetic person like you could stand a chance against me? Nappa says, no, I don't think, I know. As Nappa and Deborah began to fight, Nappa turned into a Super Saiyan 2. But it was pretty close because Nappa was pretty old. And he was losing his touch, but at the same time, he was still a warrior. And Deborah was able to keep up. As they all watched, suddenly something would happen. Cell would feel anger through his head. evil emotions coursing through him. As he began to yell and scream, he grabbed his face as suddenly an M would appear on his forehead and he became Super Perfect Cell. Now I feel the power. Cell walked towards them as Deborah smirked and said, now we have another follower, another person to help us, but suddenly Cell would just blow Deborah up. Our imbeciles. I realized something. I realized if Babidi takes control of something, they get a power increase. So I let him take control of me, just to take it back for myself. Now that I have all this power, I can have way more fun training with you guys, honestly. I had fun fighting you and watching you fight, so I think I'll let you guys hang out with me. They all looked and said, what? Yeah, I like to hang out with you guys more. Oh, by the way, you could take care of Babidi or whatever. I'm kind of bored. See you a while after training. Cell would say, flying off. As they went down to Babidi, Babidi would say, please don't. Vegeta would grab him by the neck and say, shut up, fool. As then he blew him up and laughed. Babidi was dead. And there was no Majin Buu. But there was a Cell. And as this was going on, we cut to Dr. Gero. Dr. Gero, with his body back, was angry. And he had a plan. His plan was to get the Majin Buu egg and bring him back. But under his control.
And that is where we're going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please share this video with all your friends. I really enjoyed making this video. Not going to lie. And I hope you enjoyed watching it. I've been making things later and later because of my job and things, but honestly, I still love it. I love doing this stuff for you. I love having you all watch it. But I'm not gonna lie, I've been dealing with different emotions recently. Depression and things like that because, well, I've lost some people and I moved away and things are just not going the way that I wanted them, but it's fine. Honestly, it is because I have all of you and I'm thankful for that.